You have strong desire, big dreams, don't you? You want to succeed, live the life you've always pictured, and make it all happen. But there's a problem. You're lazy. You know exactly what you should be doing, yet you don't do it. This leaves you feeling guilty because, deep down, you know you're capable of so much more. This guilt doesn't just disappear. It builds up over days, weeks, or even months until you start accepting it as your reality. Then, the new year rolls around. You set the same goals as last year. You start strong, motivated, and maybe even a little overconfident. But before long, procrastination sneaks in, like that one relative who always shows up uninvited. Your procrastination turns into a daily cycle, and soon enough, you've labeled yourself as a lazy person. So, how do you break this cycle? How do you stop procrastinating for good? Most advice you'll find online talks about fixing the symptoms, like deleting social media or removing distractions. Sure, these things can help for a while, but they don't address the real problem. The real issue behind procrastination can be summed up in one word: inertia. In physics, inertia means an object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon by some force. This is Newton's first law of motion, and it applies to tasks just like it applies to objects. Starting any task, no matter how small, takes an initial push. This is where we get stuck. We make that first step seem so big and hard in our minds that we avoid it altogether. Instead, we distract ourselves with easy activities that give us quick bursts of dopamine. To beat procrastination, you need to overcome inertia, and there are two simple ways to do this. 1. Start small. Getting started is the hardest part, so make it easy for yourself. Reduce the stakes and take the smallest possible step. For example, if you have to write a 5,000-word essay, don't think about the entire thing. Instead, just commit to writing 50 words. That feels much more manageable and less overwhelming. 2. The 2-minute rule. If you don't feel like doing something, tell yourself you'll do it for just 2 minutes. That's it. For instance, if you don't want to clean your room, put on a song and clean until the song ends. The funny thing is, once you start, you'll usually keep going. Why does this work? Because once you're in motion, it's easier to stay in motion. That's how momentum works. At first, it might feel like you're pushing a heavy ball uphill, but once you get past the initial resistance, it's smooth sailing downhill. The key is to make the first step as small and simple as possible. You can use these methods in any part of your life, whether it's exercising, working on a side project, improving your relationships, or anything else. As Martin Luther King Jr. once said, you don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. Thanks for watching this video. Do subscribe, Inspiring Arc, for more helpful content.